Socialism is a political and economic ideology that has shaped the course of history and continues to be a subject of intense debate. Rooted in the idea of economic and social equality, socialism has evolved over time, producing various interpretations and implementations. This review aims to provide an in-depth analysis of socialism, highlighting its core ideas, historical development, and contemporary relevance.
Before we dive in, if you find this content valuable, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below. It truly helps us grow. Now, let's get started.
Historical context and origins of socialism. Socialism emerged in response to the socio-economic upheaval of the Industrial Revolution. In the 18th and 19th centuries, rapid industrialization led to the exploitation of the working class. Workers endured harsh working conditions, long hours, and meager wages. This gave rise to early socialist thinkers like Karl Marx, Friedrich Engels, and Henri de Saint-Simon, who sought to address these issues. Core ideas of socialism. Socialism revolves around several key principles. 1. Economic equality. One of the central tenets of socialism is the pursuit of economic equality. Socialists argue that wealth and resources should be more evenly distributed among society's members, reducing the disparities between the rich and the poor. 2. Collective ownership. Socialism advocates for the collective ownership of the means of production, such as factories, land, and resources. The goal is to eliminate private ownership and control, allowing communities or the state to manage these assets for the common good. 3. Social welfare. Socialists emphasize the importance of a robust social safety net. They believe in providing citizens with access to health care, education, and other essential services as a right, not a privilege. 4. Worker control. Worker self-management is a crucial concept in socialist thought. It calls for workers to have a say in the decision-making processes of the workplaces where they labor. This contrasts with the hierarchical structures often present in capitalist enterprises. Varieties of socialism. Throughout history, various forms of socialism have emerged, each with its unique characteristics. Some of the most notable variations include: 1. Democratic socialism. Democratic socialism combines the principles of socialism with a democratic political system. It seeks to achieve socialism through democratic means, emphasizing the importance of civil liberties and human rights. 2. Marxism. Karl Marx's ideas laid the foundation for Marxist socialism. This approach stresses class struggle as the driving force behind social change. Marxism aims to transition from capitalism to a classless society, often through a revolution. 3. Utopian socialism. Early socialist thinkers like Saint-Simon and Charles Fourier promoted utopian socialism, envisioning ideal communities based on principles of cooperation, mutual aid, and social harmony. 4. Anarchism. Anarchist socialism seeks to abolish all forms of hierarchy, including the state, in favor of a society organized on principles of voluntary cooperation and mutual aid. 5. Communism. Communism is often seen as an end goal of socialism, where the state withers away, and the means of production are held in common by all. This vision of a classless society is a fundamental concept within socialist thought. Historical examples of socialist movements. Socialism has had a significant impact on the course of history, with various movements and revolutions attempting to put socialist principles into practice. Some notable examples include: 1. Russian Revolution. The 1917 Russian Revolution led to the establishment of the Soviet Union, one of the most prominent communist states in history. However, the authoritarian nature of the Soviet regime sparked debate about the true nature of socialism and its compatibility with democracy. 2. Scandinavian socialism. The Nordic countries, including Sweden, Denmark, and Norway, adopted social democratic policies that combine market economies with strong social safety nets. These nations are often cited as examples of successful democratic socialism. 3. Cuban Revolution. Fidel Castro's Cuban Revolution in 1959 aimed to overthrow the capitalist system and create a socialist society. Cuba's socialist experiment has faced economic challenges and political controversies, but it remains a prominent example of socialist governance. 4. Chinese Communism. The Chinese Communist Party, under the leadership of figures like Mao Zedong, implemented a form of socialism in the People's Republic of China. Over time, China has embraced market-oriented reforms, leading to a unique blend of socialism and capitalism. Criticisms of socialism. While socialism has its proponents and achievements, it has also faced criticism from various quarters. Common criticisms include: 1. Economic inefficiency. Critics argue that socialism can lead to economic inefficiency and reduced innovation due to the lack of market competition and private ownership. They point to examples like the Soviet Union's planned economy, which experienced inefficiencies and shortages. 2. Lack of individual freedom. Some critics contend that socialism's emphasis on collective ownership and central planning can stifle individual freedom and creativity. They argue that a strong state is often required to enforce socialist policies, potentially leading to authoritarianism. 3. Human nature. Critics raise questions about human nature and the potential for greed and corruption in a socialist system. They argue that socialist ideals may not align with inherent human tendencies. 4. Historical failures. The collapse of the Soviet Union and the struggles of other socialist experiments have been cited as evidence of socialism's limitations. Critics argue that these failures demonstrate the inherent flaws of socialist systems. Contemporary relevance of socialism. Socialism continues to be a relevant and evolving ideology in the 21st century. Several factors contribute to its enduring appeal. 1. Economic inequality. The global wealth gap persists, with a small percentage of the population holding a significant portion of the world's wealth. This inequality fuels interest in socialist ideas as a means to address economic disparities. 2. Social safety nets. Socialism's emphasis on strong social safety nets has influenced policies in many countries. Nations such as the United States have adopted elements of social welfare and healthcare reforms. 3. Environmental concerns. Socialism has gained traction as an ideological framework for addressing environmental issues. The focus on collective ownership and planning can be seen as a response to the challenges of climate change and resource management. 4. Movements and activism. Contemporary movements like Occupy Wall Street and the resurgence of interest in socialism among younger generations suggest that socialist ideas are still resonating with people seeking alternatives to the status quo. Conclusion. Socialism is a complex and multifaceted ideology with a rich history and a wide range of interpretations. Its core ideas center around economic equality, collective ownership, social welfare, and worker control. Socialism has taken various forms, from Marxist communism to social democracy, and has had a significant impact on the world stage. While socialism has been associated with both successes and failures, it remains relevant in addressing contemporary challenges, such as economic inequality and environmental sustainability. Its enduring appeal is evident in the influence it has had on political and economic policies around the world. However, socialism is not without its critics, who raise concerns about economic inefficiency, restrictions on individual freedom, and historical examples of failures. The ongoing debate surrounding socialism underscores its continued importance in shaping the political and economic landscape. As society grapples with the complex issues of our time, the ideas of socialism will likely continue to inform the discourse and influence policy decisions. Whether one sees it as a path to a more just and equitable society or as a problematic system with inherent flaws, socialism remains a prominent and influential ideology. Its ability to adapt to contemporary challenges and provide a counterbalance to the prevailing economic and political systems ensures that the debate surrounding socialism will persist into the future. In conclusion, socialism's enduring relevance lies in its commitment to addressing socio-economic disparities, ensuring social welfare, and fostering a sense of collective responsibility. As the world grapples with pressing issues such as income inequality, climate change, and the role of government in society, the principles and ideas of socialism will continue to play a vital role in shaping the future of political and economic systems. Whether one advocates for its full implementation or seeks to strike a balance between socialism and capitalism, the ideology's impact on the world remains undeniable. The ongoing dialogue and evolution of socialist thought reflect its resilience as a powerful force in the quest for a fair and just society.